So before we get started with any of our routines, we need to make sure that we set up our space and that we warm the dogs up even just a little bit. I'm not going to do a crazy warm up because I want to try to keep this a nice short thing that we can get fit into any part of our day. So the 10 minutes is the time we're working out. Doesn't include the time we're going to warm up and do a little mini cool down. So I'm going to show you what the warm up is. I've already set up the space behind me for the exercises we're going to do. And that way I can jump from exercise to exercise. When I use the interval timer, there is no time in between to set up equipment. If you don't have the space to have everything set up all at once, you're going to want to set up your intervals a little bit differently. Maybe you put a minute break in between so you have time to swap out equipment. But it's still then going to be a little bit longer. It'll be a 15-minute workout instead of a 10. No big deal, still super short, something you can do. I just like to do it as efficient as possible. I want to do my 10 minutes. It's a 3-minute exercise, then a 2-minute exercise, then a 3-minute exercise, and then a 2-minute exercise, which is why I suggested you set up an interval timer. Download something to your phone and set it up for 3, 2, 3, 2, so that you don't have to think about time, you don't have to watch a clock, you can stay focused on your dog and the exercises that you're doing, and then let the buzzer of the timer just kind of tell you when to move on to the next exercise. So that's kind of a few things on how this is going to work. So 10 minutes is the 3, 2, 3, 2. We're going to warm up for about 2 minutes. A couple different ways you can warm up your dog. If you have cavalettis in the house and you have space for cavalettis, to leave them set up with the exercise. I like to warm up with cavalettis. I'm going to show you how I warm up when I don't have cavalettis or I don't have the space for them. What I do is just do some cookie tossing and searching games. It's really important that if we're going to do any of these exercises, you try to find a non-slip floor to do them on, or put some yoga mats down to exercise on top of before you get started, especially if you're going to warm up the way I'm going to demonstrate right now. You really want to make sure your dogs aren't sliding. So whether you get a bunch of cheap yoga mats on at a cheap store, or like you can buy big yoga mats on Amazon. I think they run like $100, but you can get them like the size of pretty much the workout space you're going to want to work in. And they're kind of convenient because it's just one piece, you don't have to worry about things sliding. Just a little tip there. Hopefully that answers all your questions on how we're kind of going to get started. I'm going to show you the quick warm-up. I'm also going to show you the cool down in this video, just so that the next video is strictly just the warm-up. This is the video you can reference each week. This is going to be the same information. The actual workout video is what's going to change week to week. So warm up. We're going to let's say just do some basic cookie tosses. So I have my dog here, and all I'm going to do, just with some kibble, tell him search. He's going to go find, search. The bigger the space I have, I'm going to try to use it. And he's just running back and forth. He's turning and moving his body. He's getting some turns in when he does this. Search. Search. So this is just kind of warming up his entire body. I don't really want him running too fast, so I'm going to slow him down. Hey, trot. Thank you. Trot. Good. We don't want them going too fast during this. We want them just kind of warming up their body with a nice trot. So if you have to toss into a smaller space, toss into a smaller space just to get them to move a little slower. Again, the bending is great. We're getting them to turn, use their whole body, warm their legs up, warm up their spine, which is all important for this. So I will play this for a couple minutes, maybe just for a couple pieces, a good handful of kibble, but enough that I feel like they're moving well. It just really depends on if they're super cold, like they've just come out of a crate, or they just woke up. I do this sometimes in the morning as my morning routine. I will do this a little bit longer. If they've already been out and about and moving around for the day, search, then I won't, you don't have to do this as long. Search, search. So that's kind of the warm up. When we get to the cool down, so after we're done with our 10-minute exercise, what your cool down is going to look like is cookie stretches. So we're going to have our dog stand, good. And we're going to have them lure to their ribs, if you can, lure to their hips. The whole point of cookie stretches is to get them to hold each position. I don't really want to stretch him because I actually just warmed him up. And I want to work them out. So I'm just showing you quickly. What you would do is actually hold each position for about a count of 5. So we go to the hip, left and right side. We go, or the ribs, sorry, left and right side. Can stand. We go to the hip, left and right. We go to the knee if we can. And then we also make sure we tuck our head down and get the neck nice and stretched out. We go down to the wrist. And while you're doing all of this, they should not be moving their front or rear feet. So if you need to put them up on a platform, or you need to put them like on something that they can target, where they stand, hop, stand, yeah. So that they have an idea not to move their feet, go ahead and do that. The cool down is supposed to just kind of stretch them out. So just like with people, warm up is dynamic. At the end of a workout, cool down is a little bit more stretching, slow and controlled. Release the tension in the muscles that happen during workout. It is important to do a little bit of this. It does eat up past the 10 minutes, I understand. But you want to make sure that after you do even a 10-minute workout, that you're giving your dogs time to cool down. Also make sure you're not going to just throw them in a crate after your 10-minute workout. Like, you should give yourself time if you're doing it before you leave the house, that they can walk around the house a little bit and cool themselves down through their natural movement, and let them choose when they're ready to lie down and settle. Don't throw them into a crate. If you are working on multiple dogs, it's fine to put one into a crate while you work the other. That's only 10 minutes, but then make sure you let both dogs walk around and kind of cool off on their own. Just a little quick thing about 10-minute workouts. 10-minute workouts really aren't your end-all be-all workout. They're great for getting dogs into the routine of working out. They're great for getting the human into routines of working out, but we're not really taking muscles to fatigue. So you're not going to see the muscle growth and development that you would with a full workout, where you're doing multiple sets, multiple reps, and working your dog to fatigue. Some of this might work your dog to fatigue, so it is important to understand what fatigue looks like. But in general, these workouts are supposed to be quick, get you into the routine, get you moving, and not really take the dog to fatigue. If you see fatigue, obviously stop sooner than your timer says, and just take a break and wait until your timer dings, and then just start the next exercise. Don't just go right into the next exercise. If you need even more time, take even more time, pause your timer, let your dog kind of settle, and then move on to the next exercise. Again, you shouldn't be seeing a ton of fatigue here, but if you do, just be mindful of that. With this, you can do this exercise if you want to do this circuit. You can, if you have the time, do it 3 times or to fatigue. Oftentimes when we do circuit training like this, I will prescribe it as 2 to 3 times till the dog is fatigued. So you can, if you have the time in your schedule and you want to do it for more than 10 minutes, you can repeat the entire circuit again, and then you can repeat it a 3rd time if your dog is still not showing signs of fatigue. So that's another option if you do have more time in your day. But 10 minutes is really just to get you and your dog into the habit, start seeing what skills you have. This is also a great time to evaluate your skills and see maybe if there's some gaps. I would train those away from your 10-minute workout. So if you see anything in this workout that's not really going as planned, train that in between the next time you want to work out. So if we're doing tuck sits and your dog is struggling with tuck sits, skip that exercise and just do the other ones, and train tuck sit separately or outside of your circuit training. We don't want to do the training inside the circuit because that causes more physical and mental fatigue. So we want to take any training that needs to happen and do it outside of the circuit. So hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions about that, please feel free to leave a question under this video and be happy to explain that to you. So with that, we're going to get him started on his 10-minute routine, and there'll be new routines for you every week. So we're going to have a lot of fun with this.